Yes, sir, man. What a win for Georgia Tech, man. Sorry, man. I was with the press conferences. Had a lot going on, man. So I'm going to post everything, the post-game reaction, the interviews from the players. So much to talk about with this win, man. Major win. I tried to tell y'all. And the crazy part is Haynes King wasn't even all that healthy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with, I think, an AC joint sprain. So they had to lean a lot on Aaron Philo. You know what I'm saying? But it was a clutch win for them, man, to be able to pull this out at home. I knew they had the makings of defeating this team. And whenever they run the ball, man, like how they ran it today, they are a tough team to beat, man. And that's their character. That's what they want to be, man. So I want to get a full reaction. But like I said, I told y'all they will pull out the dub. All right, so I want to give love and some credit, man, to obviously Haynes King, man. The way he fought today, I thought said a lot about him and his character. As Coach Key said, he's special, man, and he is. And I told y'all what he could do. Apparently, I heard he has like a shoulder AC joint sprain. So, that's tough to kind of play through, to be honest with you. But I thought he was spectacular. They ran the ball 20 times, nearly 100 yards on the ground. He did all he could in this one, man. And this showed his tough, his gritness, and how he could fight through this adversity, man. So you got to give a special shout out to him. He was spectacular today for the Yellow Jackets. Did everything they needed him to do. I thought, man, 5-yard touchdown today as well was outstanding. Now, this kid right here, man, he didn't put up gaudy numbers today, but I thought he played exceptionally well. Now, y'all going to see when I post later, obviously on my X account, his performance and what he was able to do today. And it was spectacular, man. Obviously the numbers aren't going to be gaudy, but two key plays. 3rd and 18, 27-yard pass to his former teammate at Prince Avenue Christian when they won state championships together. 27-yard reception from him to him. Critical in the game. This came on like the fourth quarter, 3rd and 18. Then 3rd and 8, Miami has all the momentum. They just scored. Restrepo's wide open. And Miami on the other side of the field, the crowd is all in it. He's a true freshman. And he comes in and just throws an absolute dot to Malik Rutherford. I mean, he was exceptional, I thought, most of the day for what he was able to do. And he showed that improvement, man. And for them to trust a true freshman in that spot where their quarterback banged up, pretty much can't do anything but run the football. When King is out there, he's just going to run. And his ability to be able to do that, I thought spoke volumes of how good and how elite he is. And the potential that Philo is going to have in the future. So if you're a Tech fan, you should really be excited. No disrespect to Pyron. Pyron's, a good quarterback, but I feel like Georgia Tech, if they would have started him back then, they probably would have salvaged a loss or two potentially. But he was spectacular, man. I'm going to post the interview I had with him about the two plays that he was just able to kind of be cool, calm, and collected and deliver, man. But I'm not surprised. He's the state leading passer in the GHSA, passing Trevor Lawrence's record way back when, man. So he was spectacular. Give credit to him as well. He gets my game ball. All right, next up, we got to talk about the Georgia Tech defense, man. Now, obviously, this team still put up over 430 yards. It's Miami. The offense is explosive, right? But I thought how they affected Cam Ward in this one was crucial. Now, you're not going to see it. You're going to be like, 348 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the rest that they was able to kind of get in this game, 3 sacks in this one, making them hold the ball longer. Things like that was very crucial. And they held Martinez to only 81 yards. Now, I know you're going to be like, well, yeah, still at 5.4 yards a carry. This team averages a little bit under 200 yards running the football. They held them to 88, only 3.7. That's how you do it. And what has Georgia Tech faced all year? Elite running attacks. Amari Hampton with North Carolina. Duke with Star Thomas. They face these teams. Bashaw Tootin with obviously Virginia Tech. They face these teams and have come out on top. And I thought for most of the day, besides that one big catch that Xavier Restrepo had, the 36-yarder, they pretty much held him in check. So give credit to him. And these guys didn't really go off. Like you look at Elijah Arroyo, he had that one big catch early on in the game when Cam Ward threw an absolute bullet to him, and he ended up running all the way for a touchdown. Jacoby George took him 7 catches to get 88 yards, 12.6 per average. So, they did a good job balling these guys up for the most part. And I thought the secondary did a good job with no Warren Burrell, their starter at cornerback. Did a good job of plastering these guys and making him hold and pat the ball longer than Cam Ward wanted to. Now, look at this, y'all. This is, like I said, number 1 scoring offense in the country. Held them to only 23 points. Look at this efficiency, y'all. 3 for 10 on 3rd down today for the Hurricanes, right? 1 for 4 on 4th down. Now, that was key because Miami, they was in these spots, and they kept going for it. A couple plays. Amarian Daniels coming up with a big play on 3rd and 9. Dislodging the football was crucial, right? Them making him pat the ball falling incomplete on one of them, right? Mario Harvey getting in there, being able to dislodge the football. Like there were so many key plays that the defense was able to get stops. Now people are gonna look at the yards and all that, but holding this good Miami team to 23 points said a lot, right? And they held a lead at halftime 14-10, only held 10 points, right? You know what I'm saying? Only I think he had 100 plus yards passing in the first half, but he was like 9 for 18. He's only had 50% completion percentage. To do that to the Heisman Trophy, I don't want to say finalist, but hopeful, that says a lot about what you was able to do as a team. I thought humbly, right? And you also won the turnover battle and you dominated time of possession to a degree, 34-49 to 25. That's how you beat that team. And the one drive they had, y'all, was crucial. 17 plays, 75-yard drive, 10:45 off the clock, second longest drive in Georgia Tech history, program history, okay? But that's what you have to do if you're going to beat Miami. You have to hit them with the knockout punch. You know what I'm saying? And I thought they did that. Next up, game ball, Romello Height, man. Spectacular game for him. Had the strip sack fumble at the end of the game, recovered by Jordan Vanderberg. That's how you do it, man. It is not easy to do that, right? Like I said, Cam Ward, and he had a great quote about how to not necessarily contain Cam Ward, but how to win on certain plays. And they was able to do that. Second half, they affected the quarterback, made it tough for him, came after him, and just made him hold and pat the ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to do if you're going to beat a Cam Ward. And I thought they did that today. And Romello Height deserves a game ball, too, for getting the strip sack. And the key about this defense that nobody's talking about, their run defense has gotten a lot better. I think top 50 nationally. And another thing, this team can close out and win games on the defensive side of the ball. I go back to the Duke game when they were in it and they were driving late. Mario Harvey has the interception. This one, Romello Height has the strip sack. And then obviously the subsequent fumble, him getting the ball out of Cam Ward and nearly sealing the win for them. Obviously, they had to do a touch pass to Eric Singleton, get him out on the edge. A play that was cooking Miami all game. But this defense can close out and finish games, man. So that was crucial as well. Defense gets the game ball. Omar Daniels as well. I think he had nearly like 10 tackles, a couple tackles for a loss, critical PBUs. They all played a great game. He did. The linebackers did a really good job, I thought, in this one. They did some great open field tackling on both sides of the ball. Rodney Shelley did pretty decent in this game. Definitely did good. So, yeah, man, that was a great win for Georgia Tech. I don't know if I want to say program defining, but I'm trying to find a word I can say. I feel like last year them beating North Carolina did a lot for them. But to get your first win against a top 5 AP opponent or even college football playoff opponent since 2009 against Virginia Tech says a lot, man. And there was a lot of big recruits in there. KJ Green, 2027, heavy recruit. Christian Garrett, who's currently committed to you. Dalen Pinson was in the building. Justin Hassenhuddle, who's committed to you, interior offensive lineman. Ben Muser. Like, there were so many top-end recruits that was in the building. Jerry Andrew Beard was in the building as well, 2027 class, 4-star. Like, there were so many top recruits in attendance to see this game. And the fact that you pretty much, I don't want to say dominated, but you pretty much led the entire way of this game, and you felt pretty comfortable throughout. You had the first score, made Miami play from behind pretty much throughout the entire game. I thought that said a lot, and I think a win like this does a lot for your recruiting, especially with signing day less than a month away on December 4th, and you had all those top recruits in attendance, seeing this game, seeing how you was able to control the game, and seeing that you can go toe-to-toe with some of the top teams in the country. That's going to do a lot for you going forward. So I think a win like this is going to help in that regard and landing the guys that you want to land. And that's what Georgia Tech got to do. And you got to give credit to Eford, every single guy. Jamal Haynes had that big game, early on. Like he was going to probably cook for 200, but went down with an injury. To have your quarterback banged up, your top running back out, your top corner out, and Warren Burrell, and still being able to pull out this win says a lot about the fortitude of this team, and they embody their head coach, Brent Key. And like I said, not everybody likes Brent Key, but I think he's a phenomenal head coach, and I think he's doing the things that this team needs in order to get back to where they were, relevant in the college football playoff picture. And Georgia Tech is trending in that right direction, in my humble opinion. So great win, man. Super exciting to see, man, and they on the right trajectory, man. 6-4, I believe. I think they're 3-3 or 4-3 now in the conference. That's what you want to do, man. So they're bowl eligible. Imagine that, y'all, getting this type of win and becoming bowl eligible now, for the second time, I think, in a long time. Second straight season being bowl eligible for the second time in a long time. So, man, I'm happy for him, man. Great win. I enjoyed covering it. I told y'all about Miami. Y'all looked at me crazy when I said it in my video. You know what I'm saying? But I told y'all they was going to be able to knock them off, man. I just had a feeling you can't keep playing football like that if you're the Hurricanes in these games and not eventually get knocked off. Georgia Tech had the formula to do it, and even though the quarterback was not fully healthy, They had the requisite weapons. And whenever Georgia Tech runs the ball like that, they're practically unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? I think with them running the ball, out rushing their opponent like 6-1 under head coach Brent Key against ranked opponents. So phenomenal win. Tech fans enjoy it. I enjoy covering it. I'm going to have more coverage on my channel, so y'all make sure y'all follow me.